some peace of mind. But TikTok said a gator drove a Jeep through the blinds. Florida man's at it again with fireworks and a goat. And someone married a ghost in a Dollar Tree coat. Hey, what in the Walmart rapture is going on? Aliens dancing in a Waffle House song. Karen's got a taser in the checkout line. And Dr. Oz just adopted birds to fight off crime. I'm just sitting here scrolling, my jaw on the floor. The internet's a circus and I can't take no more. Yeah, when it's wildin', there's a raccoon in the sink. Someone robbed a Wendy's just to steal a frosty drink. A pastor's gone viral yelling about the end is near, while folks ride hoverboards in wedding gear. Hey, what in the Walmart rapture is this mess? Florida's a movie, but it's filmed in VHS. Someone fed meth to a squirrel named Dave, and now he's in a cage just throwing rave. I'm just
Okay, can you hear me now? I have no idea why it wasn't working at first, but now I've got the little indicator on, so it looks like it's working. Hallelujah! All right, well, something's worked. Anywho, these were part of the box that Paula sent me. This weird little squirrel puppet. And can I tell you that my youngest, most ferals tried to steal this like nobody's business. Basically, I had to remind all the ferals that this was my toy. I was like, don't take the squirrel puppet. Stop. It's my squirrel puppet. So now I have to get them all squirrel hand puppets. They were like, Mom, why do people give you squirrel puppet? And I was like, because it's fun, hilarious, and welcome, recovery addict. Good morning. Good to see you all. So we have some headlines, we have some true crime, and we have, of course, the absurdity that is, well, whatever my algorithm finds. So we have a bunch of stuff. Now, I'm not going to bore you with what happened at the Grammy Awards. Now, I will tell you, my son was really excited. He was like, Mom, I voted in the Grammy Awards, and I think my vote is going to win. And I felt secure and safe in my graduation into the Red Foreman part of my life, where I basically had no idea who any of these people were. I was like, I am officially at get off my lawn stage, and I am okay with this. So yes, Paula, your squirrel puppet was a hit. My boys loved it. In fact, I had to tell each of my boys to make sure that all the pieces and parts stayed on my desk because they loved it. And of course, Now, my youngest, most feral says that the gummy candies are the bestest, and he's moving to England. So my plan to hide all the candy that I got was not as resource or as fruitful, but that's good. I don't need all the candy in the world. Well, in top headlines, Floridians, I guess, are gathering frozen iguanas by the armload as frigid temps leave them paralyzed and dropping from trees. Now, I hope that they're gathering them to like, do you just put them back near a tree? I guess I don't know what you do for a frozen iguana. I should know this since I am now a grandmother to a chameleon. I don't know. It's raining reptiles. Get the weather, girls. I would listen to a song titled "It's Raining Reptiles," and it can kind of go with this tinfoil hat. We're all being led by reptilians. It works on many levels. Iguanas left virtually paralyzed by Florida's recent unseasonable cold snap were dropping like flies from trees, leaving people to scoop them up by the armload. When temperatures plummet, the cold-blooded creatures become immobile and kind of go into like a hibernation or stasis kind of metabolism. And in Florida, where upwards of 1 million iguanas are estimated to typically live in treetops, that means that torrents of reptiles are falling. I do wonder if that's like a head injury, issue. I mean, I feel bad for the iguanas, but I could also imagine myself just walking around in the villages and being the only person to suffer an iguana-related concussion. Look, I've already been attacked by a deer while walking. I'm just saying, if anyone were to get an iguana concussion-related injury, it would be me. They're like little bags of ice, said Jessica Kilgore of the Nuisance Animal Removal Service. Iguana Solutions. Oh my Bob Ross, there's an actual job you can do with this. This is amazing. As she hefted a 10-pound iguana in her arms. Now, usually Floridians are prohibited from handling iguanas themselves, but this winter the situation is so severe that Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission has decided to temporarily launch collection sites across the Panhandle. So again, in normal times, if a lizard is frozen and falling, do not pick it up. But in this season of coldness, I guess normal people can pick them up. Oh my gosh, it looks like Jonestown the morning after, but only for iguanas. This is terrible. Or nap time after, well, it looks like a bunch of roadies after a Styx concert. Now, Kilgore says she's hiked down beaches in Hollywood, Florida, collecting hundreds of pounds worth of fallen iguana. Is she paid by the pound? She told Local 10 that iced iguanas are so plentiful that people can pick them up like Easter eggs on the ground. Now, she did explain that the FWC will either transfer the iguanas they receive to a licensed out-of-state seller or they will euthanize them. Well, why would they Okay, I am blonde under here, but when it warms up, won't they be able to go back to their habitat in the trees? I mean, Florida is generally warm. Why are we selling them? I am so confused. But noted that Floridians are not forced to surrender the reptiles that they picked up. Florida, blink twice if you're okay. If you want to allow them to defrost, go ahead and move them into the sun, and he'll probably go up and, after he's warmed up, scramble back up in the trees. But if you want to help the environment and remove him, you need to call the FWC and find a drop-off site. Are these invasive? Oh, they must be invasive. Okay, well, still, it seems kind of mean to use, Mother Nature against them, but okay, I see. I mean, do not tell any of my children, because if they find out that there's a sale on iguanas, I'm going to have an iguana in my house, and I don't need an iguana in my house. So you, me, and the internet, we need to keep this under wraps. I'm surprised no one started making jerky out of these. It's Florida. I am expecting some sort of sandwich or fried iguana, snacks. I just am. I really am. But there you go. Now, I know you guys are going to be shocked, but I am not up to date on the political, shenanigans in Montenegro. But apparently, politicians are politicians everywhere. A married top presidential advisor has had to resign as a, smexy tape scandal rocks Montenegro. What will they do? I mean, the country that is literally all about fast cars, drinking, and Bond movies, you would think that this would kind of be street cred. I'm just saying. And if this was her, I mean, is any woman, though, she's hot, but is she like ruin your life, live in cardboard hot? Mr. Mo and I always talk about this, and no one is living cardboard hot. Not to mention he'd get custody of all 6 kids. So the incentive to stay faithful to each other is like, hey, at least we have a teammate with this. Oh, there you go. You are right. MG Law, I'm American, and therefore if it's in the EU and it's not, where we fought Mr. Hankety Clankety or where Harry Potter lives, I don't know. 2 top Montenegro officials have resigned in disgrace after, an adult film tape was leaked showing the pair getting hot and heavy together, with the former lovers later accusing each other of the blackmail and a lewd scandal that's gripping the Balkan nation. Miranja Pajovic, Montenegro's glamorous Director General for Promotion and Protection of Human Rights, announced her resignation Friday following former presidential advisor Dejan Vizic's December resignation. Now, the pair were caught in flagrante delegro, or, naked, and bumping uglies. But the male of the pair is married, and she's known for flaunting her looks on social media. Again, those don't look real. I don't know what, I mean, granted, I have a pair of boobs of my own in like a jar in my closet, so I don't, but why would you, like, soft and then silly putty? I don't understand, especially when there's that line of demarcation. So you have, like, real boobs don't do this separating in the middle of the sea. It's not like the Red Sea. It's not like Moses is holding up a stick and like part the boobs and then no, that is no. So yeah, maybe don't photograph yourself doing scandalous stuff, even if you're in a Balkan nation. Just don't cheat on your spouse. Maybe that. Maybe just don't cheat. Also, ma'am, now, like, okay, here's the thing. So here's what I do, because there is a fine line between, feeling a little bit good about myself and, maybe buying more form-fitting clothes. But I always ask Mr. Mo. Mr. Mo, I have him come in here and he thinks it's ridiculous. He rolls his eyes. But every time I'm wearing a shirt like this or something, I will have him come in and look and say, hey, are you okay with this? Because there's a fine line between, feeling good about myself and how I look now and disrespecting my husband. So maybe that's just a thing I do, but yeah, no. Also, you don't need to show all this. And why didn't you just make your what is this with the Brooke Shields eyebrows coming back? We went from having no brows in the late 90s, early aughts, to now unibrow. could we just make up our mind, ladies? Look, I suck at girl, and I just need us to keep like things normal. Seriously, I don't know what's on trend anymore. If you're supposed to have an eyebrow, unibrow, two brows, who the hell knows? Then you got people stamping them where God never intended. Hell, eyebrows like this are a warning. I've already told you guys my theory on criminal eyebrow shape. Yeah, no. And if you severely need to show your side boob at all time, then you obviously don't think you have any idea. No, but I really do want to dress up as a chav one day. I know it's awful. Look, I may have watched Don't Tell the Bride, which, can I speak to you, UK people? Who the hell now goes on Don't Tell the Bride and thinks it's going to be anything other than an ish show? I mean, who the hell has not seen, because I am addicted to this. The UK has the best trash television ever. Because I love Don't Tell the Bride. But you get these beautiful shining couples who are like, yeah, he totally knows me. He knows me and he just loves me. And then the guy's like, yeah, I totally love her. And it's always 3 days to the wedding and the guy's like, should I have bought a dress? I don't know. Should I have spent all the money on a, guys' night or a stag do? No, maybe you should. Again, who the hell goes on that show expecting that anything is going to go right at this point? I do not know, but I continue to watch all of the episodes, so thank goodness. Well, Florida is just on top of the headlines today. A Florida snake hunter and his family had to wrestle a 202-pound python that dragged him 15 feet. I'm not, wouldn't you? I have seen Anaconda. I am not going out there not strapped. Who the hell goes out fighting a big old python without being strapped? I'm going out there with all of the accoutrement of Dog the Bounty Hunter. I am not going out there. Not that I'm going out there at any point anyway. I'm an inside cat. A Florida snake hunter, his wife, and their 2 children were successfully able to wrestle and take out a whopping 202-pound Burmese python in a battle that saw the beast drag away the professional some 15 feet on the ground. Carl Jackson, a full-time Burmese python hunter with the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, was in the Everglades on January 13th to deal with the invasive species when he came across the giant snake. Jackson got the surprise of a lifetime when he witnessed the sheer size of the python, measuring 16 feet 10 inches. That's a lot of belts. Also, it's cold. Shouldn't we have natural... Throw some ice cubes in the Everglade. Greta, I blame you on this. I don't know how. I don't know yet why, but I blame you for this. Now, the serpent coiled itself around his leg and dragged him across red and black anthills. Yeah, this is why I'm not doing this. Red and black anthills and getting, runaway, python. It was like riding a slow horse, Jackson told the outlet. It was insane. Fortunately, the Utah native, his wife, Tasha, and his children, Riker Young, 20, and Jaslyn Bateman, 16, were there to help wrestle the python off his leg. It was quite the adventure for Tasha, Young, and Bateman, who has only just been certified as Jackson's assistants. Okay, how does one get a python assistance medal? Because I'm doing this. I am doing that. I'm putting it on my LinkedIn. I'm never going to use it, but I'm ready to go. Now, the python the family took out was the second heaviest Burmese python captured in Florida's history, according to the Florida Wildlife Commission. The heaviest was 215 pounds and caught in 2022. Now, Jackson said he was proud of the find and glad he was are able to help locate and destroy the python's 200 eggs, ridding the Everglades of even more invasive predators. That means more to me because that's 200 potential deer and native animal eaters that will be eliminated, or that would have been, possibly in danger from this invasive species. Now, it was the family's greatest catch since moving to Florida last year to fulfill Jackson's dream of becoming a python hunter like professionals that he saw on Discovery Channel. Can you imagine the family meeting? So, all right, kids, family, we're moving to Florida. I've decided I'm following my dream. And they're like, what, to work with Elon Musk? To, I don't know, go to Epic Universe? No, to hunt pythons. Again, look, I don't like drama in my family, but please invite me to these family meetings where you decide to tell your wife of many years that you're giving up stable employment to hunt snakes because you saw it on Discovery Channel. Because that's the meeting I want to be at, not the boring ones where me and Mr. Mo talk about, financial goals and how to get there, which is productive, but not as hilarious as, python hunting. Well, here's everything we missed at the Grammys. Not much. Again, I am super happy that I knew barely any of the people on the Grammys. Which, again, if you like the Grammys, that's fine. I was proud of myself that I barely knew any of these people up there. And, I have officially moved into the Rhett Foreman, like, get off my lawn section of my life. Cher's gonna outlive us all. Have we checked that she's not bionic? I mean, at what point in the plastic to person ratio do you generally become bionic or possibly cyborg? Because I feel like Cher is within a hair's inch of that. Not the, $100,000 man, but I'm just saying, at what point do you cross the line into animatronics? Still, if I had her wig collection, don't think I'm not going out at 70 years old in all of my wigs. Apparently, Justin Bieber is still a thing. In boxer shorts. Ooh. Lauryn Hill. What the hell happened to Lauryn Hill? That was my favorite album for a year. I listened to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill like it was my job. Yes, me. I have no idea. But there you go. I don't know that you missed much, but there you are. All right, so into some true crime and headline news that we might need to know. It does look like the defense in the Charlie Kirk assassin case, the Tyler Robinson case, it does look like the defense is pushing forward the fact that the prosecutor's young son being at the Charlie Kirk event does provide a conflict of interest. I think it's an interesting thought, though I do wonder, again, if you are going to find that because it was such a large event that people are tangentially related despite, working for the government, I do wonder if there is any other motivation to remove this particular prosecution other than this appearance of possible bias. And I will say, as a parent, my child being in danger, I don't know that I would be able to separate that. If I'm very honest and very forthright, I don't know that I would be able to separate those feelings I felt when, I'm sure their child texts them, someone's been shot, Charlie's been shot. You can't erase that heart-stopping moment, that loss of gravity when you're not there to help your kid. And they might have a point. I try to look at this and not assume that they're motivated by malice, but try to look at the strategy. And I can tell you as a parent, I don't know that I'd be able to separate that. Maybe this prosecutor is really good and he's going to be able to explain how he's not, biased by that. But I will say, as a parent, I would have a hard time separating that fear. Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old man charged with the murder of Charlie Kirk, will appear in Provo, Utah courtroom on Tuesday as his attorneys resume their questioning of Utah County Attorney Jeffrey Gray, whose office is prosecuting the case. Now, this hearing will be the second in the defense team's bid to get the county attorney's office tossed from the case, citing a conflict of interest. Now, Robinson's defense is arguing because the 18-year-old child of one of the prosecutors was present when Kirk was killed during the speaking engagement at Utah Valley University in September. A conflict of interest does exist. Now, the defense says the entire office should be removed because, quote, no effort was made to shield their prosecution of this case from his conflict, end quote, according to a motion to disqualify that was filed in December. Now, the county attorney's office has repeatedly denied having a conflict of interest because of the 18-year-old, a student at UVU, did not see Charlie get shot and did not see anyone in the crowd or elsewhere with a gun, according to court documents. Now, the office contends that the 18-year-old will not be called as a witness in the case because their knowledge of the incident, despite being present, is based completely on hearsay. Now, this is what legal experts are saying about this, because y'all know I'm not a legal expert. Now, Robinson's defense cited Utah's Code of Judicial Administration in their filing, which states attorneys can't be involved in cases with quote, a concurrent conflict of interest, which may include a personal interest of the lawyer, end quote. But conflict of interest arguments are rarely accepted by courts, according to Paul Castle, a criminal law prosecutor with the University of Utah's S.J. Quinney College of Law. So I do think that this is going to be an uphill battle. There generally is a presumption of good faith with all court officers, be they defense or state, that they are attempting to do their job with the greatest of ethics and, are proceeding with the highest standards. Whether that is borne out in evidence in this trial will yet to be seen. But I do find that this judge is very thoughtful, very deliberate, and while he's willing to listen to all the arguments, he does thoroughly research everything he looks at, and I think he will make a reasoned choice, whatever it be. Now, there is a presumption of good faith for prosecutors and, more broadly, the government, and without some clear showing that there is reason to doubt the fairness of the proceedings, generally the proceedings will move forward. The chances of this prevailing based on similar claims that have been presented is very, very low. But CNN legal analyst Joey Jackson said the court will weigh whether the parties are making decisions predicated upon the merits, the facts, and the law, and the circumstances only, and that there are no outside influences that are going to impact the judgments that are being made. Now, there are estimates that there were some 3,000 people present at the event, and that is leading to a bit of chaos when it comes to the gag orders for witnesses. Who will be called, who won't be called, what they can say to media or put on their own channels or their own, kind of social media versus what they can't, and if that is being clearly given out to the witnesses or potential witnesses. This is going to be a gigantic case. There were over, I think, 3 terabytes of digital information already in discovery in just this case. And that was what the FBI did, collect. So it will be interesting to really get kind of an understanding of what's going on. I don't think that the defense is going to win any of their motions on keeping the media out. I think this judge is very aware that this is a case that needs to be tried with full transparency in the public eye, because the offense was quite literally in the public eye. I did not realize I was watching the very close video when I first saw it, and my heart goes out to all of the first responders and people who tried to save Charlie and people who saw that, because that was graphic. And MG Law is right. The media, the public, this was done against the public. Whether you liked Charlie Kirk or you hated him, he was there because everyone in our country, we believe, has the right to speak freely, whether their ideas are popular or not. I don't like a bunch of the hot takes that anyone says, but I will stand up and say, you have the right to say it. Now, you're not free from, me thinking you're a moron, but that's the price we all pay if we want to put our hot takes out there. So I doubt any sort of push from the defense to keep this out of the media is going to work. What I do worry about is people who are not fully informed of how trials and courts work, people that are more in the news media kind of genre, do tend to take some of these articles and not understand that allowing the defendant to show up in street clothes or civilian clothes isn't the judge showing favor to Tyler Robinson. It's in fact him trying to make the trial as fair and lawful, and it's normal procedure. So a lot of times I'll see other channels who are more news-based report on some of these things as if the judge is showing bias, when it's really just a normal kind of procedural thing of the court. And I don't blame them for not knowing, but if you are going to start branching into this particular genre, I do think that it's incumbent upon you to learn a bit about how courts and how trials work, just so you can kind of give a fulsome and truthful idea, of what's going on. It's not the judge, falling for the defense or anything like that. A lot of these things are standard and procedural, but if you don't know that, you can't be faulted for not. But if you want to report on this, maybe start, doing that. So this, I imagine, will be a big case. I imagine that there will be a lot of legal wrangling prior to, and that we're going to see some things that maybe haven't been tested before. I do think that this defense is capable, which is good. I want this to be the best trial on both sides, so there is no room for an appeal. So it's done right the first time, because we only get one shot at this. Now, the state has to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, and the defense has a right to defend their client zealously. Now, personal attacks on either side I don't really care for. I tend to go into these bigger trials as a juror. I don't want to have my mind made up. I don't want to have, things like that. It's one that I'm okay with it taking a while, but it will be a hard one to follow. Well, now we've got the stories that'll make you wonder if we're in the end times, or definitely make you realize this is why aliens will not give us their secret technology. I've got them for you. The headlines that only Mo finds. Here you are.
The key keep scroll, thou glowing shrine of thirst traps, scams, and dollar signs. We chant in tones both grim and low, for virtue fled a long time ago. Kyrie eleison, Christe descendat, final form Jesus return in wrath. With six-pack listening, sword in hand, he cometh swift to cleanse the land.
Well, I don't know if my spidey sense is just really good, but I clocked this as Johnny Depp, but apparently, uh, the news headline was like, "You'll never guess who this is." It looks like Johnny Depp is going to be playing Ebenezer Scrooge. And okay, make this a spoof. I sincerely hope the Ghost of Christmas Past is like, "No, Johnny, don't marry the Turdler." Right? And he'd be like, "Oi, her name is Amber Heard, not Turd." And she'd be like, "Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't want to tell you this, but she's gonna leave a stinky in your bedroom." I mean, look, I'm just saying I would watch the heck out of that Christmas Carol. But if he does the standard Christmas Carol, I'll be okay with it too. Although it will never win. Look, I am a die-hard fan of the Muppets Christmas Carol. Michael Caine and Kermit the Frog. I'm there. I will say he does look exactly like, I don't know. I still go back to the Michael Caine from, and Scrooged is great too. But yeah, the Muppet Christmas Carol has to be my favorite Christmas Carol. But there you go. We look forward to Johnny Depp, coming back and best as ever. Now, I have never had one of these, but how many crunches do I need to do to get one of these corgasms? Also, why are you avoiding it? I mean, if you told anyone in Jenny Craig or, at, ladies only, that you could do sit-ups and somehow get an O, we would be doing crunches like Jane Fonda. A model was left red-faced after nearly climaxing in her Pilates class while engaging her core. This has to be a lie. Fitness model Sarah Lloyd is no stranger to intense training, having competed in ultra marathons and being an avid gym goer. The 25-year-old who hits the gym every day without fail normally loves working out, but during a recent group session, she panicked after a specific ab exercise, caused her oxytocin levels to rise so much that she fought back a big old O in the middle of group. Again, what type of crunches were you doing, sweetheart? Because I done did the Thigh Master and Nate never had nothing like that. I'm just saying. Look, you'd get me in the gym. I mean, I'd do it at home. Let's be real. Because I don't know. Now, Lloyd was so freaked out by the experience, she is now too afraid to try that same exercise again. "I found out my magic O technique by accident," said the influencer, who has 131,000 Instagram followers. "I work out every day. Normally I'll hit the gym and occasionally I'll take a group class. But it was at the group class that things started to go a bit awry. We were doing leg raises, and after doing about 10 of them, I was started to feel a tingle in my flutter kicks. Are you? No. As a person who almost passed basic and has done flutter kicks, I can tell you this is an MFing lie. I mean, maybe I've never been doing them right, to be honest." And I thought, surely that's not how it's meant to feel. I started sweating and I could feel a similar sensation to what I'd normally experience in the bedroom. As I noticed that I was starting to get to the end of that, I panicked and had to stop. I don't know if my heavy breathing gave me away. I can solemnly swear this has never happened to me in the gym. Obviously, it felt good, but not right for ab exercise is in a gym. Nicknamed coregasm, uh, exercise-influenced orgasms are fairly rare, but not unheard of. Debbie Hibernick, a sexologist, she's actually a sex researcher, but sure, why not? And author of the Coregasm Workout, estimates that roughly 10% of people can have them. They generally feel similar to orgasms from normal stuff, but they tend to be more dull, less intense, and more tingly. Oh, you know what? I might have experienced one of those when I was running and had a cold, but I thought I was just going hypoxic. I'm pretty, maybe it's because you're wearing super tight stuff in the gym. I don't know. They seem to last about the same length of time as, the normal O's. Like, they occur from exercises that heavily engage the abdominal core muscles. People usually don't have one on the third or fourth crunch, she said, but rather when they fatigue their core muscles. Now, according to Healthline, the most common exercises that cause them are crunches, leg lifts, knee lifts, hip thrusts, squats, and hanging straight leg raises, sit-ups, weightlifting, climbing, pull-ups, and chin-ups. May also work for men. Oh yeah, men, I'm sure you're going to love doing a bunch of kip-ups at the gym with a stiffy. I'm sure that's not going to get you tossed out of, Planet Fitness, right away. So there you go. Apparently this might do leg lifts and all the things if you want to. And finally, because, it had. Is your schmeckle really an indicator of longevity? I feel like this brings a whole new meaning to palm reading, like looking at your lifeline. Don't test me, but I'm pretty sure in California they already have schmeckle fortune telling. I don't doubt it, or San Francisco. Well, world-renowned biohacker Brian Johnson, well, he's named after a schmeckle euphemism. Of course he would be schmeckle envious. Is raising eyebrows about his shocking approach to, well, peen health, as you do. Johnson, whose mantra is "Don't die," takes Cialis, receives Botox in his schmotox, and undergoes low-intensity shockwave therapy to his Johnson to improve blood flow, enhance fun times, and achieve performance comparable to a teenager's. Sir, why would you want to live forever, like, abusing your schmeckle? I don't understand. Like, at some point, you just need help, sir. Like, we're all gonna get older. I don't care if you shock your schmeckle and, Botox your butthole, for years and years. Reality is a thing. I don't know. If you want to live forever, go the Cher route. Silicone all the way until you're, a cyborg. Now, apparently, according to this man, nighttime stiffies are like an important health meter, if you will. They're a weather vane of your health. Said Johnson, 48, men who do not have these nighttime happy times are 70% more likely to die prematurely. Your schmeckle will predict your death. Jesus. Who listens to this? Is anyone listening to this man? Seriously, unironically, is anyone listening to this man? Now, he's not the only longevity-seeking maker. Using his schmeckle as a weather vane. So is, your bait and tackle really a true barometer of longevity? The Post spoke to two experts about the rising interest in biohacking the peen. They shared their tip-down philosophy for protecting the crown jewels for decades to come. Oh no. Look, don't sh- look, we're all gonna die. If you would like to spend your time alive shocking the hell out of your schmeckle, God bless you. I don't recommend it. Pretty much. Apparently, that's me and Peter Gabriel. We're gonna work on that right now. But there you go. Those are the headlines for today. As always, we still do have, what my algorithm has found, which you guys know is the best stuff ever, as always. My first is, I don't know who this bear is, but he has the right idea. It's just 15 minutes of this big old bear making himself comfortable and at home in the forest. And I have decided if I get to choose what I come back as, I'm either getting reincarnated as a spoiled male inside cat. I told y'all before, but I don't achieve many adult style things, but I always feel good about myself that I make my bed and like put the pillows all up, Look, Mr. Mo and I have an argument now. All of my pillows are not throw pillows. They're just additional like sleeping pillows. He still says I have too much. I still contend that unlike normal women, I don't have a bunch of throw pillows on my bed, so he should stop bitching. That being the case, my son comes in and roots around like old Wilfred over here and destroys my nicely like neat consolidated crisp bed sheets, and they end up looking like Wilfred's done wallered in them. I just love the bear. Well, I've never seen this, but I would go to more yard sales if there was a weird person out here in a costume yelling at me. Actually, to be real with you, this is way too much peopling.
Take a check. I'll give you $17.95.
$17.95 for the mini TV. We'll take a check for $17,000. Master, how much for the
I could see myself doing this if only to get myself uninvited from every other HOA project ever. Not looking at my karaoke machine that my mom gave me as, I think, some kind of torture. I never did anything bad as a child that I recall, but for some reason my mother insisted on giving me a karaoke machine. Now, I had this far off dream that we would have a big family and I'd be like the Partridge Family and we'd all sing. None of us can carry a tune with a bucket, nor do we have any rhythm, but my mom insisted on giving my family a karaoke machine. Like, we needed another magnifier for the boys' lack of inside voices. But I think I'm ready to do this on our next garage sale day.
Oh, these are wonderful. The signs themselves are worth it. I'm glad you like it. Ah, they're hilarious. You're not selling any of this stuff, right? Oh, you. This stuff is not for sale. This is a joke.
Including your soul.
Not at the prices you're wanting.
Oh no, she did not dishonor this man. How many years of bad luck is it to, dishonor a shaman of this level? Because I know, like, if you break a mirror, it's 7 years bad luck. If you break pasta when you're cooking it, you get yelled at by Megan Fox. I will say that it is a Midwest thing. I didn't even know it was wrong, okay? So I have been doing that my entire life. And then I told Megan Fox this, and I expected love and kindness. And she was like, and I was like, that's how I was raised. And she's like, no, you have to let the pasta basically simmer on itself and fall into the pot. And I was like, that is... Look, that's how we do it in the Midwest. Look, my mom taught me that, and I am putting it on her. Now, I think she learned it in Kansas, so it's a Kansas thing. I don't know. Yes, I know Megan is correct. I didn't know it was a bad thing. I'm trying to say I was not informed. Now I'm educated, but y'all know me, Pearl has a new thing. Yes, I was unaware it was a problem. He does have actually another one out too. I just didn't know if I could do Pearl and the...
Well, hello.
What in the... forget Warshot test. I feel like this background picture can tell more about your psyche than than a regular Warshot test. Oh, she looks cranky and, well, upset for some reason. Let's hear what she's got to say.
You know, it is an irrefutable fact that within each possum churns the angst of the artist, yearning to be free. So, it is incumbent upon you to provide them with brushes, although the true artist will prefer to use her tail, and a set of food coloring. Now, again, there is no compensation, although...
Ma'am, just take the final step and get into taxidermy. I mean, at this point, these baby steps around taxiderming your former pets into weird historical creatures. I can imagine a Marie Antoinette possum. I can imagine a George Washington possum. At this point, just take the final step and go into taxidermy.
Betty, if you're listening, my grandmother and I used to love Betty Crocker, although we did cheat on her now and again with Sara Lee. Nobody's perfect. Now, if your possum does not have these art supplies, rectify that immediately. You're just going to put this video on pause and take care of business.
Yeah, because, that is the real crime in America is the lack of marsupial art supplies. Won't someone think of the possums?
Okay, all done? Good. All right. Now, this video is for our friend Sarah. Sarah has requested opossum art in red, blue, and pink. And you can imagine how artists just relish commissions intended to blend with the decor of the patron. Well, And that's just fine, because what is great art if not something that will...
Wait a minute. Does this mean I can sell my finger puppet squirrel art? Here I am thinking about hawking lipstick that doesn't smudge off, and I could simply create possum art. Don't give me any ideas. I already spent way too much. So in our marriage, the thing is, we do kind of have like fun money, but then we also, long story short, Mr. Mo had to buy a new office chair. And he tends to feel guilty when he spends a lot of money on himself. I do too, but so he's like, well, since I bought this chair, you can go ahead and buy something you'd like. And I had my eye on this really fancy, dancy stand that I can do my embroidery on. And it was basically, my whole thing is I will be giving away a bunch of my other stands that no longer work. So it's kind of, I get to give away a bunch of stands. So on my craft streams, when I get them started. Now, I swear to goodness, my craft stream is cursed. My craft channel is cursed. As soon as I get the cord to get, everything set up, the right one this time, my middle daughter is like, Mother, I need to use your laptop to do, school stuff for my future nursing career. And of course I can't say, no, no, darling daughter, you can't use my laptop because I want to film myself doing diamond painting terribly. I was like, of course, use the laptop. So as soon as she's done with that, I will finally get to sit down on my brand new craft desk and actually do crafting. But that is where we are today. So long story short, I have a new embroidery table coming. It is going to be awesome. It's all adjustable and steel, which is going to be really nice because it means I can sit down and you guys can watch it. And I don't have to always stay on my bed with it because my current stand takes up enough space on the bed that Mr. Mo can't sit next to me if I'm doing my cross stitch. And since I can't sit still without doing something, Yes, and I've got my cat Lego that we're gonna do. I also bought myself a new Lego kit. I could not find Gizmo, which was sad. But I found this crystal set. Although I am thinking of doing it with Mr. Mo because he likes all these crystal things. So part of me, like the good wife Mo that sits on one side is like, you should give that to Mr. Mo for, Valentine's Day and we can do it together. And then the evil, hateful wife who sits right here and thinks it would be hilarious to buy a Lego kit with something that Mr. Mo really likes that I don't really care about and just rub it in his face. The good wife is going to win, but the bad wife might giggle hysterically. No, we each have a hall pass and it's Henry Cavill because everyone is a Cavill sexual. We've already talked about this. Or Mike Rowe.
Fit in smoothly and just kind of complement the surroundings and give the collector a sense of peace and comfort. Possum art goes back before recorded time. Of course, there's no record of that. Now, the possum is sometimes in the art as the subject, as in this exquisite oil by my very dear friend, the late, great Rachel Rosenthal, entitled Possum Serenade. Or sometimes the possum is the artist, as in, we're going to have to make some adjustments here, honey. Okay,
Biter.
as in, are we fine?
Run
You okay?
now. Run.
There you go.
Run.
All
This
right.
is your only
All right,
chance.
get a
She's
grip, get a grip.
distracted.
Okay. As in this exquisite number entitled Pudding and Me. It's done in tapioca and food coloring by Peach, one of the original Me Pearl possums.
Why is there pudding? Why? No, that smell. I have never been more disturbed. But tapioca pudding is gross. It's first of all, it's pudding. Second of all, it's got those little eyeball things in it. No, no. You know what? After the boomers are gone, no one is buying tapioca. In fact, I might put it on the no-fly list when I become president. There's rice pudding, which is a million times better and more awesome. Tapioca pudding is outlawed when I'm president. It might be an unpopular thing, but nope. No.
Now, both possum and painting are featured on the video classic Peach Eats. Check it out. Not to be confused with Pear Eats. Check it out. No. Well,
I'm waiting for the possum to say, "Draw me like your French ladies, Jack."
this brings us to Sarah's work. All right. Now, really wanted to be able to show you the process by which this was created, but it was chaos. It was just wreckage. In fact, all we have left are these telltale remnants, so to speak. I don't know how I'm ever going to get this off. All right. And the masterpiece itself, entitled Pastel Pastiche, or Colors to Live By. All right. So this...
If it says "live, laugh, love," I'm gonna laugh my tits off. Like there's gonna be no other shows for the rest of the day. I'm just gonna be uncontrollably laughing for the rest of the day.
This is for you, Sarah. Are you ready? We thought to, we're going to retitle it possibly Serenity's Sampler for Sarah. Don't you love alliteration? We do. All right, here it is. I know, Sarah, honey, I know, but, I think it'll grow on you. I think it will.
Sarah, you gave a crazy woman money. You saw the ride, still bought a ticket, and apparently wanted her to make you a portrait. I don't feel sorry for you. I say this is a perfect representation of you saw the ride, you bought a ticket. And you know what? It is a conversation piece.
Sarah? Really? I think it will. Anyway, so if any of you out there have a special request of your own, please, just keep it to yourself. We are really burned out on this just now. Until next time, bye. Bye-bye.
Well, there you go. If that doesn't make you feel happy that you are not at least spending your money on possum prints, I don't know what to tell you. Let's see, guys. I am going to say goodbye to you for now. We are getting ready to go into the Paul Cañero case, and we will be starting at 10, so we have a little bit of a buffer to kind of speed through those breaks and still end right about on time. Now, there is one thing for today. I do have to leave at 2 to pick up the Farrells since Mr. Mo is currently going to school. So I can either do 2 streams or just have you on. I will be listening to the trial, but we can figure that out closer to when we get there. And Nick will be joining us. So have fun. Hang on to your hats because maybe we are getting to the end of the state's case and into whatever in the nebulous hell the defense is going to be bringing with it. I don't know. Here's hoping that maybe over the weekend they just told Paul, like, let's get done with this and say we're done. Bye, you guys.